even have, what's the first quotient now? Because there are four quotients now. So what was the very first quotient?
Now, which one would you like me to go with first?
I'd like to start with the first quotient. I mean,
that was a trick question. All right. So let's just go with the social quotient.
Right.
Social quotient in terms of wealth management, financial planning, and essentially getting your act money wise. Now, when it comes to the art of making money, when it comes to the art of progress, wealth management, it can't be done in isolation because, first of all, the human is a social being. We don't operate in isolation. For every seller, there is a buyer. If you're selling something and nobody is buying, then, you're essentially not selling, you're just showcasing.
Right.
So how do we harness our social quotient? Social quotient in this regard, I'll look at it as per the people we have around us. There is the ability for people to be in a crowd of people and you think you're very popular, you're doing very well, but if those people are not contributing to your success, likewise, if you are also not contributing to the success of other people, then again, how do you intend to achieve your financial goals? Recall I said, for every seller, there has to be buyers. Now, we often look at our social network. Everybody, there's this saying that bounced around and probably still continues to bounce around that says your network is your net worth. I actually disagree. Now, if you pick up your phone, I'm sure you have, let me just hazard a guess, 1,000 contacts saved on your phone. Even more. How many of them do you have a relationship with? Very, very few. Because if you actually check, there are many people whose numbers you have saved on your phone over the years that you have never called. And that is your network. But does that translate to your net worth? No. So actually, it is your relationships that translate to your net worth. Your relationship being that you have found a common ground, you have found value in giving to a certain, number of people, and those people also contribute value to you. And it is in the exchange of value that you are able to, let's say, generate wealth. If there is no generation of wealth, then there really is no preservation of wealth. What are you preserving? Preservation of zero is zero. So there has to be something that you're preserving. Now, when we also look at our social status, our social cabal, our social network, as the case may be, if I ask the average person, everybody wants to have, let's say, the affluent of society as their friends, as their relationship, tight relationships where they want to hang out every day. But the reality is that when the chips are down and, for instance, you don't feel very well, you don't feel too good, or you're in a certain bind, you most likely are not going to be calling those quote unquote A-listers to come help you, take you to the hospital, or, they're not the ones going to go and look for food for you to eat and all. They're not going to do that. They don't have that time. Now, who are the people that will do that for you in your social quotient? So while we are all looking for how to have the high and mighty as part of our social network, it is important that we have a good spectrum of relationships in our social, quotient, because there are people that would walk behind the scenes to make you look good. And there are people that you will be the one working really hard behind the scenes to make them look good. It is what it is. In life, it's a give and take. If your social quotient as well are not able to celebrate your small victories, if they're not able to clap for you when, you hit what appears to be a small milestone. And really, in my opinion, there is no small milestone. A milestone is a milestone. A birthday is a birthday. Every day you wake up in the morning is an opportunity. Forget whether the day went south, west, or east. it was a day that you lived through. You know, there's a saying, that I heard around, saying that you're not just looking at people who clap for you, you're also looking at the people who didn't clap for you when they ought to have clapped. Again, it's a social network. Why? Because the human aspect is actually one of the most critical aspects on the journey of wealth making, management, financial planning. Because no matter how much we do a lot of things, the opportunities that come our way often come as a result of people. The opportunities and the promotions and somebody is somewhere and they're looking for, let's say, a speaker, a presenter. It takes another human being who has your best interest in heart that says, oh, I know my friend Israel, he can do this. It's not just going to magically drop in somebody's mind somewhere that there is an Israel somewhere who can do this. It's a human being, which is your social quotient as well. It's also another human being that will say, no, I don't think you should give that person the job. So our social quotient plays a huge role in our ability to create wealth.
And that's important because some people have, it's weird by the way, some people have had excuses for how weird they are. They tell you they are Sagittarius, for instance, they tell you they're this, and they're melancholic in nature. So they do not want to negotiate with other people because it's a natural tendency. What do you have to say about people like that?
Okay, so in life we have to understand that there are a variety of people. You would meet the sanguine, the choleric, the phlegmatic, the melancholic, and a whole combination of those four and many others that we don't have titles for. You will get to meet a lot of those people. But you see, that is life. The same way we sit here and assume that, other people are choleric and, they're difficult or abrasive on the nerves, to relate with. There could be somebody somewhere who has experienced either of us on an off day and feel the same way about us. But the question now is, we must all acquire skills to deal with the different types of people that, we come across. Now, I do not in any way sanction or approve of bad behavior or wickedness for what it is called. But you see, one thing I have found out is, even for the most socially evil people, quote and unquote, there are still people who believe that they're the most loving, caring, amazing human beings on the surface of the earth. Because for some reason, they have found the skill set or the grace or the favor or the competence with which to get the best out of those people. So the onus lies on us that we would not always meet people that are like us, that are as polished to finesse as we are. We must be able to switch from hello, good morning to Ogbeni, Baoni, Shedada. We must be able to switch to that. We must be able to say, madam, that's not the price. So we bring out our Nigerian accents. We must be able to say, Ejo, Kilon Shele. We must be able to say, Same Sireo. We must be able to say, Sanu Baba, Inakwana, Antashilafia. We must be able to switch. And that is the ability of...
I don't know what's happening in the city right now.
We must be able to, break into other, statuses that are not familiar with us. Because there is money in the mud. Who is going to get dirty is the question. Everybody's dressing up for social media. But the truth is, social media is just the glamorous part of the hustle. We all get down and dirty when the chips are down. We will do what we need to do to make money, because my bills respect payment. They don't respect an accent. It is what it is.
Now, you're not for the first time since Tristan is Unilag 103 on the FM. Time check 20 minutes past 11 this morning. We opened